when I mean compliment, I mean it. The kind of compliment I got on this dress is amazing. So guys, this is a sewing tutorial of this our 3-part corset. I was unable to upload it yesterday, so today I'll be uploading it. This is going to be the sewing tutorial. And please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe. And if you have not watched the drafting and how to fix the cup, you can kindly go and watch it, then you come back here and we'll continue from the sewing tutorial. So in our last in our last tutorial, this was where we stopped. We were able to draft out the patterns, as you can see. So that is the center, front, and then the side. I went ahead to cut lining piece for all of them, so I'll go ahead and be joining them together now. So lining to lining and fabric to fabric. I've also gone ahead to iron paper stay on all the piece, just as you can see, on all the Ankara piece, you see. So next thing we'll be doing, we'll start our joining properly. So just as you can see me displaying, I'll join the center front to the side front properly, just as you can see. And then this is the back, so you are just going to unpin it, remove our paper, then we'll try to align it together and join it. So guys, after joining the piece, this is what we have. Can you see? So that is the front part, that is the back, then this is the lining for the front and back. So now next thing we'll be doing, we are going to be joining our cup. You see the way I labeled this cup 1 and 2. So I'll be joining cup 1 and 2 together first. You get? So I'll be joining the fabric to fabric, lining to line. So I'll join cup 1 and 2 together first. If you watch my last tutorial, I showed how to join the cup. So it is the same way you are going to join the piece. So join cup 1 and 2 together. I'm just trying to mark where and how to join it together, because if you mistakenly change the face when you are joining it, you discover that it will not be able to reach the end. Maybe one is shorter and then one is longer, you get. So after joining the fabric to fabric, I will go ahead to join the lining also. So it is still the same process I use for the fabric that I use for the lining. So guys, after joining our cup 1 and 2, this is what we have. Can you see our cup is coming out small? So this is what we have. So next we'll be doing is, I'll go ahead to the sewing I'll go ahead and iron it properly. And then this is our lining. You see, even lining also is standing. Can you see the way they are all standing? So next thing I'll be doing is, I'll go ahead and iron it properly. So guys, after ironing the cup, I've also gone ahead to iron all the pieces of the body together. You see the way they are all lying flat. So next thing, we are going to be working with our cup properly. So now after joining our cup 1 and 2, we are going to be joining our cup 3 together. So you discover that I'm just staring at it to know where and how to join it properly. So I make sure I join it to the appropriate side, because when you mistake it, maybe turn the up to the down part, you discover that when you are done joining it, you are going to have a funny shape and you not like it. So that is why you see the way I'm just like try to turn it in a way that when I join it, it is going to come out nice. That is joining it at the appropriate side. Yes. So anything I do to this cup, I'll definitely do it to the other cup. So and then when I'm done, I'll go ahead to join the lining part also. So that is what I've been saying, lining to lining, fabric to fabric. So and again, when you are dealing with this, make sure you go with your pin, have your pin as your friend, so that you can be able to stitch them together. So guys, after joining it, this is what we have. Can you see? So this is what we have. And in our last tutorial, I dropped a tutorial on how to go about the cup. Yes, so next thing now, I'll just go ahead to iron this piece together. That's what I'm trying to show. So in our last tutorial, I dropped a tutorial on how to go about the cup, and then we ended up with this. So this is the cup we achieved from our last tutorial. It is just how you fix this piece just now. So it is same thing. So now next thing I'll be doing is, I'll be inserting the cup in each of the Ankara fabric that we have. So we'll be keeping the lining aside, then we'll be working properly with the cup and then the Ankara. So I make sure I carry the cup that is appropriate for each of the Ankara cup, you get. So I make sure I carry the cup that is appropriate, because if I carry the one that is not appropriate, you discover that when I place it, it is not going to stay and like it is not going to balance just as it will balance when it is appropriate. So that is what I'm trying to do. So now after placing it, you discover that the back of the cup has gone, right? It is a wording. So now you place it very well, then you're going to carry your pressing iron and iron it properly. So guys, after ironing it, this is what we have. That was so fast. I did that off camera in order for the video not to be too long. So that is all for the cup. Now we are going to be working properly with the bodies now. So I'm gonna ahead to cut this strap just as you can see. So now on the midpoint of the center front, I'll be rolling a straight line down in order for us to have our channel. So that is going to serve as our channel where we'll be passing our boning. So I'm going ahead to cut out this strap, and I've also ironed it in order for us to have a neat and seamless sewing, and it won't stress us. So something when you are dealing with Ankara like this and you are creating a strap, it is good to what? Iron it inside, so that when you are sewing now, it is not going to stress again. It is just going to stay like a bias tape. You know, bias doesn't stress, you just place and sew. So that is how this is going to look like. So now I'll just go ahead to start placing it. I've placed the one on the center front, and then on the side, on the two side actually. So I place on the two side, just as you can see me placing it. You get. So after placing it, the next thing I'll be doing is to just go to the sewing machine and sew it down straight. You get. I'll sew it down straight. So that is for the front. Then for the back, I'll also place on the side, just as you can see. I'll place on this side and then the other side. So guys, after sewing it, this is what we have. Can you see? Everything is looking so nice. So this is what we have after sewing it. I believe you can see it very well. So now next thing, we are going to be working with our cup properly. Yes, we are going to be working with our cup properly. So now for you to do that, you're still going to carry the appropriate cup that fits it, and then place it middle to middle where you have that dart and notch. You're going to place it together, and then you see the way I'm pinning it down. You are going to sew from one edge to the other, just as you can see, from this edge to the up part, and then from that middle point still to the side of the cup. So anything I do to this cup, I'll definitely do it to this cup. So guys, after sewing it, this is what we have. Can you see? Our corset is coming out so beautiful now. So, and note that anything that I'm doing to the lining part, I'm also doing it. Anything I'm doing to the Ankara fabric, I'm also doing it to the lining part. So next thing we'll be doing, we are just going to join the side together. Yes, we'll be joining it with the 1.5 inches allowance we added earlier while cutting. So when I'm done, I'll bring it. So guys, after joining it, this is what we have. Can you see? Our corset is coming out really neat. So this is what we have after joining it. Can you see the inside? So we are just going to notch that side in order for the corset to stay very flat, and then it will not budge at that space. So anything I do to the fabric, that is this Ankara print, I'll definitely do it to the lining part again. So now we'll be fixing our strap. Yes, I'm gonna have to cut this. It is a 11 inches I'll be using, but I cut 12 inches so that I'll sew half to the front and then half to the back. So just look at the way I'll be placing the strap on it. I'll pick one of the strap and then place it directly on that line that is matching that which is our side dart that I said earlier. So I'll also match it to the dart of the back, and then I'll do same to this other side, the dart of the front and then the dart of the back. So after that, I'll just go ahead to sew it with 1/2 inch. So guys, after sewing it, this is what we have. Can you see? So this is what we have after sewing it. Next, now we are going to be placing our lining on it so that we can cover it properly. So I'll place the lining right side of the fabric facing the right side of the lining, just as you can see from the video. So I make sure I make my pin as my friend. At any point, you just make sure you do what you pin, so that everything will come out very neat, and then it will look so beautiful. You get? So that is why I'm pinning all this place. So I'll just go ahead to pin them all through for me to have a very sweet sewing. So I'll just go ahead to pin it, and then after pinning it, next I'll be doing is just to what, go to the sewing machine and sew it. But can you see the back? Yes, this is how the back is looking. So I'll just go ahead to what, sew it with half of an inch all the way down, and then after sewing, I'll just turn it and top stitch. So guys, after sewing it, can you see this is what we have? I've gone ahead to top stitch on it. I believe you can see it. Yes, so I've gone ahead to top stitch on it. So this is what we have at this point. Now I think we are almost done. So now next thing we'll be doing is we are going to be what, fixing our loop. Yes, the loop where we'll be passing our rope inside. We are going to be creating a channel where we fix it. So I mark 1 inch before, but I later made it to be 1.5 inches. But while sewing, I made 0.75 allowance space inside. I believe you get what I'm trying to say. Yes, so I'll just place it on it, sew it, and just as you can see, this is just a basic way of fixing the loop. So after fixing it, this is what we have. I discovered I have 8 on each side. So now next thing we'll be doing, we are just going to carry the lining, place it on it, sew it down, and then this is what we have after sewing it down. So now after sewing it down, I discovered that it is nice to use your boning at that part where you have the loop in order for it to stand very firm. So I'm gonna to cut this bone. So I'll go ahead and sew it on it. I'll go to the sewing machine and sew it on it properly. So I sew on this side and then this other side. So guys, after doing that, this is what we have. I've gone ahead to turn it over. I'm gonna ahead to flip it over. Can you see our corset is coming out so nice? So next thing we'll be doing is we are going to be fixing our boning properly. So I was supposed to use the non-sewable boning, but this is the one I have at the moment. Yes, the sewable one. So one thing I do is before I fix the boning, I'll use my lighter to burn the tip so that it will not go ahead and start tearing the clothes inside. I believe you understand what I'm saying. So after putting all the boning, this is what we have. So next we'll be doing is I'll just carry my bias tape, then I'll use it to turn the down of the corset. Discover that after putting the boning, I've gone ahead to stitch it all down in order for it to stay very properly. So I'll go ahead to use my bias tape and fold it down, and then that is all for this tutorial. I believe you learn a lot. Bye, and see you in my next tutorial.